Ice cream lovers, we are talking about ice cream mix today, in particular, the butterfat content of that mix. Before I do so, I do want to introduce myself. My name's Steve Christensen, the ice cream bloke, self-appointed headmaster of Scoop School. I also want to introduce our episode sponsor, which is Lloyd's of Pennsylvania. Right down below here is the link. Actually, right down below here, Madeline, is the bag. Look, there it is. Lloyd's of Pennsylvania. Andy Jones, Barry Jones, husband and father team, father and son team. I'm just trying to think of any other. I'm just trying to think of any famous father and son teams. I can't think of any right now, but put some down below. That'll be the comments for this section. Look, they're a great company. They provide mix, soft serve mix, premium ice cream mix, custard mixes. Why am I looking over this way? Anyway, we thank you for your episode sponsorship. Their link is down below. Tell them that Steve sent you. Okay, now this time of year, at the end of ConeCon, when a lot of people have sent all of their ice creams in to be judged, Cornell does a great job of judging them. They get all of these figures back, their solids, their butterfat content, their bacteria counts and so forth. And one thing that really puzzles people is, why is my butterfat content changing when I buy a 14% mix? So let's go over that real briefly. Okay, so what I've got here is a bag of 10% butterfat custard mix from Lloyd's. And you would think, like I would think, that if I made an ice cream or a custard or any type of frozen dessert, sent it off to be judged or sent it off to be analyzed, I should be getting 10% fat listing in my results. Not always the case, because every time you add something to this recipe, you are going to dilute the butterfat a little bit. Because right now the product here is 10%. But if I take something that's not really designed to be an ice cream, let's say a watermelon. Where does he get the watermelon from? Look, I've been working on a few magic acts. Anyway, this watermelon is about 94% water. So if I wanted to make a watermelon ice cream, I cut this down the middle, I scoop it out, I put as much watermelon as I can into my mix in order to get a good flavor. I've diluted the butterfat of the mix by adding water to it. And often you'll see that when you're using even products that aren't heavily water filled or have a high water content. I use peach puree sometimes as a topping, but sometimes we may use it to kind of enhance flavor. Well, it's not overly concentrated because this puree is designed to be a flavor or a topping and not a base flavor. So again, I'm adding water. Not as much as my good friend the watermelon here, but still water is going in there, which is diluting that butterfat mix. So the best option is to use something that's concentrated, either a puree or a extract. This is our good friends at Lockheed. Green Mountain Flavors have extracts. And you've got other companies that are using pastes that again are very, very low in water. They're quite dense, they're concentrated, and it gives you much more bang for your buck in putting flavor into your mix so you're not diluting the fat. Another thing you should be doing at least once a year, in my humble opinion, IMHO, in my humble opinion, IMHO, is to take your mix or some ice cream down to have it tested at a lab near you. Now, most major cities have food testing organizations. Have them run tests on your ice cream to see whether it is the butterfat that you're paying for. Make sure that your bacteria levels are in check. Make sure there's no nasties in there. I thoroughly recommend that process. So anyway, just a little bit of a chit chat about butterfat and testing. I think it's important to make sure that you're using industry products that aren't diluting your butterfat and some of the other great things in your ice cream. That's all we have time for this episode. Thanks again for Lloyd's of Pennsylvania. Barry, Andy, great crew. You are a great crew, just for watching. Keep on scooping. See you in the next video.